welcome to the kNights podcast. I am your host, Corey. With me tonight, we have Keikoa.
Hello.
Ben.
Hey, hey, hey.
And we have a special guest tonight, Claudia.
Hello.
Alrighty. So you guys ready? Yeah? Alright. So, how was you guys' week today? Or, no, not today, this past week.
Well, for you, longer.
For me, yes, it was, for me, 2 weeks. Yes, I had a long 2 weeks. But I'm back. I missed a week. But it's okay. I'm here. And that's all that matters. So, how was your this past week for you guys? Anybody? Ben?
Awesome. Everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome. Everything is awesome when you're part of a team.
Awkward. No, I was actually reading about the new Diagon Alley opening up in Universal Orlando. So that was pretty cool. I mean, they got a whole bunch of new stuff coming up, so pretty excited for that.
So what kind of stuff they got?
What happened? Pretty much it's what?
Nothing.
You're looking at me weird.
So weird.
No, it's all the cool stuff that they basically threw into there. I think who's read the books? I haven't read the books.
I've read the books.
Who else?
I have read the books.
Yay! We have two.
have watched
Well,
the movies.
I know, but you did it under protest, apparently. But you enough, but
Sort of. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, I think you'd want to know more about this. I mean, it's pretty cool, but I mean, you really want to read the books. What was it about the books that you didn't like?
It was too long and too wordy.
Yeah, that's basically what I did.
The book
Basically,
targeted
it's
to.
because they were books.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
the books are targeted towards teenagers.
I'm not in high school anymore.
Technically, they're not even geared towards teenagers. It's even
Well, it's still-
below teenagers to the tweens. Because it started off with like the 10, 11-year-olds, and then
Like
they basically
It's in
grew
the
up
young
with it.
It was
is it
with
in the young
my
adult
age group.
section.
What are you trying to say?
No, like that. Like that's the age like that they went into Hogwarts was like about the same age as I was at the time, and I did not like the books at all.
Well, okay, why didn't you like the books then?
Because they were being posers. This isn't real life.
Because I didn't want to be part of the norm. I was a rebel. No,
Norm.
Okay.
If you were part of the norm, you would have been reading the books.
Exactly, and I didn't read the books.
Because reading is not fundamental.
Nope,
Right.
it isn't. I don't honestly. I read the first one, didn't like it. I don't know. I also was a pretty bad reader before, and I had a really bad time comprehending. So that's probably part of the reason I didn't like it.
Wait,
So
what do you mean by what's a bad reader? I guess
a bad reader is when you're reading and you're just basically reading words and you aren't really comprehending and you aren't like visualizing the whole story in your head.
Yeah, so you're
It's
able to
basically
decode
going-
it, but you weren't able to comprehend.
Yeah.
Straight from your eyes to your mouth.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
basically what it was. So like that's why it was harder for me because all growing up I wasn't the best reader. So it made it really difficult for me and it just didn't interest me at all. So maybe if I read it now that I'm a little better than I used to be. I'm not saying I'm amazing or anything, but
You have a fresh perspective on the books after having watched all the
Well,
movies.
you've seen the movies.
well,
so-
yeah, I even during that time I did watch the movies and everything, and I enjoyed them. I really like the movies. I'm a very visual person, but when it came to reading, I just didn't. I couldn't do it. I suffered through the first one. I got halfway through the second one, and I said, "Screw this!" And I put them down. I was like, I can't do this anymore."
So do you not like read anything, or do you read some books? And
Do you count comic books as
No.
books?
I do count them, but I mean, for the purposes of this, I'd say, like, just to see if there are other books that you do read.
I mean, yeah, nowadays I do read a little more. I did read that Ready Player One that you had me read. So, like,
that's true.
Nowadays, I think that's why I'm saying, like, maybe if I went back and tried to read them, it might go over a little easier.
Because it sounds like you weren't really a recreational reader. Like, you didn't go. I'm
still not a recreational reader.
Then. So
there's also the fact that the first book is basically they're setting up everything for you. So it's not going to be the most. I mean, it was a pretty good book, but it wasn't like the most interesting read.
Okay,
because most people their favorite book is really the third one.
Yeah. Well, even all of the Goblet of Fire.
No, that's the fourth one. The Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah, you got it.
I have.
You named every other one.
I would have had to actually. If I start from the beginning, then I'll be able to do them. It's just when I have to go out of order, it
elimination.
doesn't work. Yeah.
So if you listen to the audiobook version, would that be better or
only if it was the original actors voicing?
Maybe.
Actually, the Stephen Fry version is pretty good because he kind of does like you forget about the like the person reading it, and you get because he kind of tries to do the voices a bit, and he has the British accent.
Does he do Harry like when he's going through puberty?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so maybe if I did do audiobooks, that might help a little bit.
Because then you just, I mean, usually I've been just listening to audiobooks when I've just been at work or something, or basically doing something else. But I was like, well, maybe that would be more interesting.
Maybe
the middle
for
ground.
me,
because if you're reading the books, then you get that stuff they cut out in the movies. If you like the movies, then there's a little bit more that they cut out for time purposes that really makes it a richer story.
Yeah,
thing.
That's how it is with most movies based off of books, though, right?
Yeah, but these ones, like, there's so much stuff that happens within the books themselves that
they cut out whole kind of plots and stuff.
They cut out like side stories or additional information.
Okay,
so they really kind of trim it down.
So you get like more background on more of the characters when you read them.
Plus, there's the whole stories that are in the books that don't make it into the movie, so they're kind of mini stories.
So like own. Different story arcs that they have.
Like in the first movie, you know how Hagrid had Norbert, which is that pet dragon. Like in the book itself, they even dedicated a whole chapter to Norbert, and so it was a longer story than he has an egg, it grew, it's now a dragon. Okay, now we gotta get it out. Like that's how they did it in the movie, and then in the book, you actually see the dragon progressing and growing, and you see the relationship that Hagrid has with Norbert.
That's like the shortest book too. Even that they started cutting stuff out, and that's the shortest one. So
I remember seeing the books as they went on. It's like they got thicker and thicker and thicker.
They got thicker and thicker, and there's only so much time someone's willing to dedicate to watching a movie.
I'm not the norm, but I like watching long movies.
Well, it depends on the movie.
Very true.
I was gonna say, you won't just watch any movie just because it's long. Someone would be like, "Oh, this needs to end."
Yeah, very true.
Well, I mean, that kind of makes me think. Have you seen the extended versions of Lord of the Rings? The ones they have on the DVD. Have you watched those? See,
I have that whole gold book one, and I've watched. I think of them.
Own them. Well, I don't even own them. I don't think, but even if I did, I don't even think I'd watch them. Actually, but I mean, more power to you if you have, I guess. But
Lord of the Rings is awesome.
So back on topic. So Diagon Alley.
Okay, Ben.
What?
Okay.
So
yeah, it opens next week, July 8th, grand opening. Yeah, but in reference to the books, they pretty much cover visually the movie aspect of it, plus a lot of the hidden, well, not hidden, but the more intricate details that are covered in the book too. So it's like a really richly and immersive themed place, kind of like a J.K. Rowling. She had a hand in helping design Hogsmeade, the first part of Harry Potter land, if you will, for Universal Orlando. And that one, she wanted to have a certain intimate feel, and Universal's like, no, we got to keep it like theme park level. We got to make things wide and big. And it's like, no, it's not going to feel like you're in the movie. It has to feel like the movie. And this kind of is almost like Cars Land in a way, where when you watch the movie Cars in Radiator Springs and then you walk into the land at California Adventure, it pretty much is like you're stepping right into a movie scene from there. So she kind of wanted that same feel. And I think
it was just because there's so many people that have read her books. They know what it's supposed to look like. They know what it's supposed to feel like. And I think if they hadn't done it the way she wanted, a lot of people would just been, well, this isn't what it's supposed to look like. Why are we here?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a double-edged sword for Universal. I mean, it was great that they had all that detail and everything. But at the same time, there's been issues of like just overcrowding in the area because a lot of shops can't handle that capacity in a theme park setting. And it really, the fans really kind of pulled it through for both Universal and J.K. Rowling, just in the detail and everything that was in there. And it's like, okay, so you didn't sell out. This is something really cool that a fan can enjoy and kind of get lost in the land. And then Diagon Alley is basically taking Hogsmeade a step further and putting in way more detail in everything.
It's open now, right? But soft opening right now?
Diagon Alley, no. It's officially going to open on the 8th. They have soft openings for people who reserve special hotel packages, and that way you can get in early. I think yesterday and today were the first 2 days. That's only if you only had that room reservation where you were allowed to get in.
I'm wondering so I guess when you're saying that they want to make it more wide open and stuff, they I guess they want, because for a theme park, if you have it too much like the actual we have all seen in the movie Diagon Alley, it'd be like, and with the amount of people that are pulling through there, it's going to be really unpleasant.
Yeah, especially when it's brand new and you have a lot of people who've already seen the first part of the park and they really want to get to know the second part of the park. And they're like, if this is this awesome, the second part has to be at least just as awesome or awesomer.
Yeah.
Because everything is awesome.
But it's I guess just worried about the lines and stuff for everything. But I mean, I guess they didn't have that much of a problem in the original one, right? In the original park, not the Hogwarts.
The Hogsmeade part?
Hogsmeade, sorry.
Yeah, the first one, I mean, it came out during the time when the movies were really popular and, well, basically just off the tail end of the movies, and not everyone was kind of there to go see it, but the hardcore fans definitely heard about it and they wanted to go see it, and it kind of spread from there, word of mouth, and going through social media and all the blogs and everything. And I think that's really what made it successful for them. And Universal's like, wow, we're just making money like hand over fist by offering them an experience. And it's kind of from that, I think it was a little over 2 years ago now, that they first opened that first part of the land for Hogsmeade, that they went ahead and expanded the rest of their parks, like putting in Springfield, USA, in that area where they just had The Simpsons, the ride. I miss Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I want that back so bad.
It's not coming back though.
I know, but I want it back. It's Back to the Future, man.
Yeah, but when they opened Springfield, that one actually took off, and it's like, yeah, you can go to the Duff Brewery, you can get those pink sprinkled donuts from Lard Lads, and you can have Flaming Moe's at Moe's Tavern and knock back a Duff beer. And just all these different places that are they kind of just pulled right out of The Simpsons, but Harry Potter was the inspiration for all that. Like they saw, oh, this is why it works so well for Disney.
It took them that long in order to go, hey, if we have a themed land, people will like it, even though Disney's been doing it for years.
Yeah, because they basically, I mean, before they half-assed the lands, I mean, they had like an Amityville,
Amityville?
no, Amity Island or whatever the thing was in Jaws.
Right.
Yeah. So they had that area, and it was like loosely themed, and
I guess it's something.
Yeah, but it was.
But it wasn't interactive.
It was like a hodgepodge of things, and like Harry Potter's the one where J.K. Rowling was like,
well, I
mean,
what
Claudia said, like interactive.
What do you
environment?
Like pet Jaws or something at the?
Well, no, it wasn't like
pet
it was. You were in the tram, and you sat in the tram, and you watched everything happening around you. But now you can actually experience. The things that you've watched on TV and the movies you've seen. So it's a different way of doing things.
Is one? Are we talking about the one? For the Florida one, did they actually had a theme land?
Yeah,
like you could
they
walk
had a
around
land and a ride.
Oh, there's a separate ride for it.
Yeah, it was different from the one in Universal.
Where it's just like, oh, shark.
Watch out, and moving on.
Exactly, and moving on.
It's like, we're going to go over that rickety collapsing bridge now, and then go through the Red Sea, and
well, because I think at the Hollywood one they have that's the same place where I think they were saying they filmed Murder, She Wrote. I mean, the one where they made it was like Cabot Cove or something like that. So it's like, Murder, She Wrote and Jaws take place in the same place. Wait, no, that's not right.
That's kind of like Hill Valley, Back to the Future, Courthouse, and Clock Tower, and bunch of other movies until the area burned down.
I think.
Yeah.
I thought they redid it or rebuilt it partially, or courtyard area.
Yeah, they did rebuild it, but they kind of had to start all over from scratch again.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, they're actually expanding Harry Potter into Hollywood. I'm sure most everyone knows already. I think 2016 is the target date that they're supposed to open. Like, they have a lot of stuff built up, but there's a long way they need to go.
Well, they're so short on space, they're just probably having to take out stuff. I think, was the Gibson amphitheater? It's gone now, but was it sacrificed for the Harry Potter gods?
Yes.
Okay.
And then it's funny because Waterworld is still up for some reason. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be like a phase 2 of Harry Potter, maybe like another Diagon Alley, or if they figure some way to do it.
It is quite a bit of a footprint that they could make up for. Because last time I went to Universal, you could kind of do, Universal Hollywood, you could kind of do everything and see the shows, but you could do all the rides, and then the shows, you kind of just go, well, there's shows, let's go watch them because we've run out of rides to go on. And so Waterworld was always the one that'd be like, well, let's go watch Waterworld. Whereas if it was like a Diagon Alley, you'd just be like, yeah, let's go there because it'd be pretty cool. So I think it could do with a bit of a change. Although I like the Gibson Amphitheater. I actually saw a concert there not too long before.
One of the few last ones.
Before they, and I was like, the first time I'd been there, I'm like, wow, this is a really good amphitheater. Too bad they're destroying it. And it's like, I just finally found out about this place and how awesome it was.
But they're going to pull in so much more money than the
amphitheater from their position. They're definitely going to just. Well, I mean, it depends because I wonder how. I guess they're going to try to pull over what they did in. Do they have more room for it in Florida than they do for here? Or are they using the same amount of space?
No, they have more room in Florida. They're really tight on land over here.
Right. Well, have they allocated? Do you know if they've allocated what they had over there for what they? There's no way, though, right? I'm only guessing, but that the one in Florida is pretty big, actually.
It seems big. Like, if you look at that map that I gave you for Hogsmeade, there's not really too many areas there. they basically have the three rides, which are Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, which is their basically the main ride for that area, and then they have the other ones that are more like coaster rides, like the Dragon Challenge, which I think is like a dueling coaster, like two coasters that kind of go at the same time on different tracks, and Flight of the Hippogriff. And then everything else is like shops and kind of things to see, like the three broomsticks, Honeydukes, Ollivanders, which doesn't really belong in Hogsmeade, but
At the time, they had to put it somewhere because they wanted to have it.
Somebody had to sell wands,
Right?
Because that's what everyone wanted.
You could have had maybe they could have had black market wand shop or something. It's like, well, it's over. We don't really have it here, but this guy will sell you a wand. Some shady guy in a trench coat with wands.
No, but one of our friends got recently married, and they went over there for their honeymoon and everything. What are they going? Well, I guess they hit that whole land, but they posted pictures on Facebook, and it was plants that scream.
Oh. What are they called?
Plants that scream.
Yeah, it's
Well,
the
he knows more than
it's
I
the
read them
ones
a long time ago.
that they had to pull out and then change into the potting plants. Like they had to
Oh,
get
the
the ear.
mandrakes?
There you
That's
go. Those
the-
the mandrakes.
Oh, look at
Like,
that.
oh, I know
Team
what you're
effort.
talking-
I didn't know where I pulled that from.
But yeah,
Well,
they
because
had
that
to
was
get
in the movie
earmuffs.
too, though.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't
so-
know they had names though.
Yeah, they had all that stuff tied in, and they had the. I had all these names before we
Totally
started.
read the book.
See what happens when you delay things.
Not my fault. Technical difficulties. The bowl
Wow.
with the visions, like you pour in the.
Oh,
Oh, the memory thing? The memory word? Never mind.
I think that
The
you're talking
official
the
name.
same
that's
thing.
that
But
one.
you're just trying to figure out the name for it.
the
and then-
actual name. Well, yeah. Well,
The memory jar.
no. it's-
in the shape of a bowl.
The memory bowl.
That's better.
There you go.
yeah, so they pretty much have like all that stuff, the talking portraits, and like pretty much a lot of the key scenes that you saw in the movie. So that one, I would say that's more movie based. And
Well,
then
yeah.
Oh, so I would appreciate that.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, everything's
everything in the
movie-based.
movie is, yeah.
well, in
That
terms
comes from
of
the
just
book.
familiarity, they're like,
Well,
well,
the books come from the movies.
Yeah.
and then Diagon Alley that kind of takes that a step further. It's like, yeah, we can use the movies, but let's kind of put way more depth into everything.
That's good. So, what kind of stuff can we expect from Diagon Alley?
Say it right. Say it right. You don't want to end up somewhere diagonally.
Yes. what kind of stuff are there going to be there? Like, are there going to be different rides and shops, kind of like the other side?
Well, the cool thing about this is like they kind of made it like their own miniature land that's hidden away from everything. So they built these false facades, these tall building facades, and like a berm and everything around there. So once you enter the land, it feels like there's nothing else around you except Diagon Alley and all the related
So
streets
they
around
took
there.
Disney's thing of how you just...
Except they applied it to a land.
Yeah.
Like, which land would be most like it? I would say maybe Critter Country.
That's what it's called, the pensive.
That's it. Yeah. Everyone,
The memory bowl.
all the listeners out there are screaming, "Are you idiot?"
Hey, you can't blame me. I don't know anything.
No, but I would say it's more like Critter Country, where when you're in that back section, everything's just wrapped around you. You only see like Space Mountain, all these, Splash Mountain, all these trees, and
Yeah.
like the restaurants, the river, and you don't really see anything else until you come around the bend for Haunted Mansion. And they kind of take that same approach. So when you first enter the park, you have the London waterfront. So they built this whole area, and then I'll need help with the names here. But the apartment where Creature, or was it apart? Well, yeah.
I'm lost. What?
It's from the 5th book, where basically they're using Sirius's house.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, the apartment kind of like
it
complex,
stretches.
like
Well, it's
stretched
his
apart.
house.
It's
not
like
an
the.
apartment.
It's like the.
Whatever.
It's the house, like whatever and a half, like that's in between.
Yeah.
No, there's no half. It's just I think it was 12, and it just splits open.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like the London waterfront, and it looks like they just pulled it straight out of the movie and everything. Right next to it is King's Cross Station, and that one you can actually take Hogwarts Express that travels between both parks, because Diagon Alley is actually located in the original Universal Studios Florida Orlando park.
Yeah, okay.
What happened?
Number 12, Grimmauld Place. That was the place.
Ah, okay.
Number 12, Grimmauld Place.
Okay.
What?
There's a bug on your headphones.
I see it. I missed. Dang it. There we go. We got it.
You're just pointing at my head like.
Moving on.
Okay, continue on to what else we can expect from.
Okay, so that's the big thing. This is going to be their key money maker right here. Is the ones who went to Hogsmeade and went to go see Hogwarts Castle and all that stuff. You take the Hogwarts Express that connects Hogsmeade, which is in Isles of Adventure, and it connects it to the first park, Universal Studios proper, and that's where Diagon Alley is located. Except when you come in through King's Cross Station, and you would, I guess, embark and disembark on the 9 3/4 platform, where when you're waiting in line and you see people going in, it looks like they're running through that wall. Except when you're on the other side, it's an optical illusion, but when you're on this side, you're just kind of walking through a space. There's no wall or anything. But to everyone else who's on the other side, it's like, oh, look, he just ran through. There goes another one. It's like, okay, ready? Run, go. Get your camera ready.
You better hope there's no one on the other side.
I was going to say.
And then you just take a wall that they run and they go, boom! What the hell? You didn't believe.
You're a muggle.
Muggles not allowed. Also, it's like that.
They had racism too.
No, but they actually have a train station on both sides. So they have Hogsmeade Station out in Hogsmeade, and King's Cross Station out in the London waterfront for Diagon Alley, and they have the ticket booths out there. So you can't ride the train unless you have a park hopper ticket. And they actually just soft opened on the 1st, July 1st, like a couple days ago.
Was yesterday.
Or yesterday. A couple days ago. I'm looking at the time.
Stop being all technical.
So that one, they're actually able to. Well, they've actually made a lot of money already. People are already anticipating, kind of hovering around there. When's it going to open? When's it going to open? Because when you go on the train, it's two different experiences. One experience as you're traveling from King's Cross to Hogsmeade Station, and then another experience traveling backwards, coming on the return trip. And like you sit in the cabin, and it's just like if it was out of the movie. And you have stuff that happens on the outside of your window, quote unquote window, which is kind of like a screen. And then the frosted glass that was a door that they close to your cabin, and that's where all the students walk around, and you can kind of see Ron, Hermione, and Harry, and I think Death Eaters or Dementors. Yeah, but pretty much all that stuff happens. So there's a bunch of like things that people are just gonna geek out over.
Are there chocolate frogs?
In
That
the
jump
shops. Maybe on the windows. I think there's a part in there where someone pushes a trolley by, so maybe it like jumps off the cart and sticks to the window and then falls off.
Interesting.
Yeah, but you have all those elements going on, and that's just basically transportation / attraction between one park to the other park. And people were lining up at the ticket booths just to go there and just buy a ticket just to experience the train ride. So they're like, how much for a park hopper? How much do I need to put down? It's like, what? Shut up, take my money.
I figured most of the people that would be there on vacation would already have park hoppers, just because, vacation, you want to usually tend to splurge unless you're a
Unless
local.
you're budgeting too, but then if you're budgeting, then you're also like, well, I really only want to go to Universal just to see Harry Potter Land, which is what a lot of people were. I'm assuming what most people were doing.
That's surprising. I would think that they would be going to both parks, because from what I hear, Islands of Adventure is pretty awesome itself. So it'd be like going. I mean, you'd already be giving yourself one part of the experience. I don't know. I mean, I guess if you were trying to budget, I guess you could be just going to the one park, since it only is. If you were just there just to go specifically for the Harry Potter experience, then before they opened up the other part, then I guess I could see
because
budgeting one.
When we went, that's pretty much our thinking. We never really made it there, but our thinking was like, we don't need to go to both parks. You just want to see the one part.
Yeah, but is there nothing to do at Universal?
Huh?
Is there nothing to do at the Universal other than go to the Harry Potter
We have
stuff?
one here, so I don't think there was that much of a difference. I haven't really been to Universal. It hasn't really been that big of a draw for me over here. So over there, it wasn't really that much either, except for the Harry Potter land. It's like, oh, everyone's talking about this stuff. It's something you have to see, and everyone who goes always says, this is awesome. So eventually I have to plan another trip out there.
Well, I mean, there's some... but you haven't been to the park here, in Hollywood.
Not in a while now.
But I mean, there's they got a lot of awesome rides actually now. Although I do admit, you go early enough, you can go on everything
in half a day.
But I mean. But it's all worth it. Like, if it's all good stuff, like the Transformers one. I don't know. I haven't been on the Despicable Me one.
Yeah, they put Transformers out there too, and the Despicable Me is a clone from Orlando to over here.
Well, speaking for myself, I've not been there since I was 8 years old, and honestly, there's no attraction for me to go to the Universal Studios here until they open Harry Potter. Then I will definitely be going.
I don't know. It's not. I'd say it's worth going to at least once. I wouldn't say worth an annual pass.
Simpsons.
Yeah, once
No.
when I was 8.
See, but you didn't you never watched
with the actual
I did
rides
watch
that are
The
here
Simpsons, but it's The Simpsons. It's not like I feel like going to go have a Duff beer or.
Because you don't like beer. I would totally love to have a.
You would love
beer.
to have butterbeer.
Yes,
You'd like
I
to have
would like
all the
butterbeer.
beers, but I mean,
Okay, you're making me out to sound like an alcoholic here.
Are you?
Only sometimes.
The first step is admitting you have a problem.
I don't drink that much.
is this becoming
You
an
don't drink
intervention
that little either.
podcast?
Yeah. Okay. Well, getting back on track, since we've only made it like a little bit into
Just into the
Diagon
station.
Alley, let's make it further in.
Let's actually
and
go
explore.
into
Let's go
Diagon Alley.
into
There we go.
And check everything else out.
Yeah, so when you come off the train, you're not in Diagon Alley yet. What they make you do is walk out into the London waterfront area where you see all the facades, and then you see the I forgot the name again.
Grimmauld Place?
Yes, that's
Oh.
it. And then from like in the apartment window or the house window, you can see Creature peek out from behind the curtains, kind of like every so often, like the evil,
Like the evil queen at Snow White in
Fantasyland, yeah. And then they also have the night bus over there, so they have like not conductor, the bus guy.
The Shrunken Head?
And the Shrunken Head. So they have both of them, and they kind of interact with each other. And I think the Shrunken Head is like kind of like an actor somewhere on the bus who's just controlling the head and is looking at cameras and stuff. But they stay pretty true to the movie and the characters that they're trying to portray and everything. And they try to hire the actual person there who looked like the guy who was also in the movie too. And they make him study it and all that. So from there, then you actually go into Diagon Alley through one of the facades, and that's the Leaky Cauldron, like right behind that. And how do you get back there? Into Diagon Alley?
You have to walk through the Leaky Cauldron and go to the back of the Leaky Cauldron, exit out, and then that's where there is the wall, and you have to tap the bricks in a certain sequence, and then with your wand, of course, and then it'll open up.
So are we going to have to do that to get into Diagon Alley?
Not quite. The walls are already opening as you walk in.
Oh, okay.
So when you walk
sure
in,
I
you
wouldn't
hear
know the
like the
password.
sounds of the walls kind of like making that grinding noise as they're moving to open up. So you're not really tapping, because that'd just be like a logistical nightmare to get everyone in. But
That, and I don't think the wall would last after so many people tapping. Tap, 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 tap!
like, my
Crumble!
turn.
My turn.
And
Aren't you
then-
going to go through? No, I want to open it.
And then it no longer opens because they've messed up the
The
like-
wheel breaks.
the electronics in it. It's not working, and the other people are, we can't get out.
That'd be funny to see. I would pay to sit there and watch that. Okay, so once we get into Diagon Alley,
Because it's working.
because I knew the password, obviously, with my wand.
Yeah, so the brick walls, they mimic like their opening, so they're kind of all jagged and everything as you start to enter. And as you walk in, there's this kind of reveal moment where you don't see everything until you kind of progress further in and round a corner and underneath an overpass. And then you see everything. You see the alley, and all the way at the end of the alley, you see the keynote attraction for that area, which is Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, which is another really super hyper detailed ride and everything. But the big key feature is that they have this huge dragon sitting on top. Looks just like it's straight out of the movie and everything. It roars, breathes fire. Some people were saying it was animatronic, but it's a static figure, pretty much.
Huh.
But when you take a picture, it still looks awesome. And bless you. So then there's all these storefronts over there, and it's true to the movie, pretty much just shops, all the shops that you want to go to. So there's broomsticks. Anyone familiar with that?
Oh, is that
Where
where
you
they
c-
sell the broomsticks?
Yes.
I could not have
From
been
the
able
layest
to figure that
models
out.
to gently used
So is
brooms
there
offered
a-
at a great price.
Oh, so is there a
Broomsticks.
Nimbus 2014 now?
Maybe, probably. Yes. It's like every time you go back, I gotta get the latest model. Then you
if only it
have
would actually work.
then you have Ilops Owl Emporium. So you get all breeds, including Screech, Barn, Tawny, Brown, and Snowy Owls.
Oh, got it.
So you can get your mails.
Owls.
Yes.
And then you have Flourish and Blots, Diagon's finest booksellers for generations, specializing in volumes for Hogwarts students from all years.
Ooh, do they have that animal book that tries to eat you?
They probably do sell that one.
I think that's actually one of the things that's in the window, in the storefront window.
Not to buy though.
I'm not. I'm trying to remember if we saw it last time when they were selling it. Another bug. Yeah. Yeah. So that's where you get those books, and then there's Gambol and Jape's Wizarding Joke Shop. So joke gifts and magical gags of all sorts, including Dr. Filibuster's fabulous wet start, no heat fireworks, and much more. Then you have the Junk Shop, secondhand treasures and curious items of previously owned nature. Madame Malkin's Robes for All Occasions, where you get your official Hogwarts school uniforms, dress robes, traveling cloaks, and robes for all occasions. And then you have Madame Primpernel's Beautifying Potions. So I'm pretty sure that's like a Hogwarts-themed beauty shop.
Get
It's
some
like
fragrances, get your perfumes
lotions
and
and lip balm and gloss and all that.
Maybe a little book of spells.
Yeah.
Magical Menagerie. Your Diagon's Alley one-stop shop for all manner of magical creatures and supplies needed for their care. And then you have Ollivander's Wand Shop, where it should be.
Wait, so there's gonna be two of
Two
them?
wand shops,
Well-
because
that's
popular.
because if you can't get into the other part, that
Well,
makes
it
sense.
wasn't even supposed to be Hogsmeade, because Hogsmeade doesn't have an Ollivant.
So
Yeah.
does that mean, are they gonna take it out of Hogsmeade then, since it's there, or are they
no,
just gonna?
they're still going to keep it there. It's two different attractions. Like the first one is more true to the size and scale of the what you see in the movie, and this one is like way expanded, and they try to get more people in and more of an experience. It's less intimate, but still offering the same things. So if you pretty much know what you want and you don't want to have to go through the whole hassle of dealing with all the crowds and lines just to get in, then that's your best bet to go shopping there. Pick up your wands if you don't want to buy it online. Potager's Cauldron Shop. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Potager's. Yeah. So you get your cauldrons. Make your potions and brews and stuff. And then quality Quidditch supplies. Your full selection of Quidditch supplies and equipment, memorabilia, favorite World Cup teams. You can get your jerseys there. Probably like...
Can I buy a snitch?
Most likely.
I want to bludger.
And your goggles.
Oh.
Then there's Scribulus, writing instruments. So you get your parchment inks, quills. Slug and Jigger's Apothecary. All the ingredients for your potion making needs, including rare and hard to find ingredients for those more exotic blends. And then Twilfit and Tattings. So you get the catering to the finest dressed witches and wizards of discerning tastes. So they have a lot of shops going on. And then was Gambol and Japes the same as the Weasley's Wizarding Wheezes? Is that what it's called?
No,
Or is that a separate shop?
It's a separate shop.
Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. There you go. Okay.
Isn't that with all like the toys and stuff?
Yeah, so they have that there too, and it's with the same thing where they have the big guy out in front raise his hat, rabbit's there, hat down, hat up again, rabbit's gone, and then just fireworks going on inside, a whole bunch of stuff just to see. Multi-level floors that you can't go up, but it just adds to the whole feel and theme of the shop.
Yeah, because Fred and George didn't open up their shop until after Harry gave them the winnings from the
Goblet of Fire?
Thank you.
He got money from winning that?
Yeah.
I missed that stuff.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that. That must have been cut out of the movies.
Possibly.
I think it was, because I don't remember that at all.
Do you remember that?
I don't really remember much from all of them.
Oh, can you actually explain what happened to all his money from that first movie? Remember, didn't he have like a whole room of freaking gold? And
Yeah, he still has that. That's the money that his parents, like, technically it was his parents' money, but when they died, it transferred to him.
And he like never uses it?
Well, the thing is, in the books, he does go to the bank.
Okay, that's why I'm asking.
But they only did it just for the first movie. But like for the second movie, it's the same thing. Like, you know.
Okay, so he does actually use it. And
Yeah, like
like
the beginning of every school year kind of thing.
Why didn't he help out the Weasleys and shit?
Well,
Pretty sure they could have retired.
But I think it would be
They're
it would
kind
be
of
pride.
proud,
Yeah.
Basically,
True.
like,
And it's not like, you know, you don't want, like, yeah, your friends know that you don't have money, but it's another thing when then they're trying to give it to you. You know, it's, if you're proud, you're not going to want that. You don't want the pity.
And that's the other thing too, is like you can actually go into Diagon Alley and you can go into Gringotts Bank and trade US dollars for Harry Potter dollars. So you can get Gringotts banknotes. And when you go in there, it's like a interactive animatronic goblins that are staffing the area, and then you can actually trade your money with them and be like, look, I have Gringotts money.
So it's kind of like Disney dollars at Disneyland?
Pretty much. And
Okay.
you can use them anywhere. You can use them outside of Diagon Alley and throughout all
Okay, so
Universal
you can
property,
actually
too.
use them.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like...
Universal property.
Okay.
So yeah, just like Disney dollars.
So then, would you be able to bring that back here and use them at like Universal Hollywood?
I'm pretty sure you can. Yeah, I think it'll be weird at first just because there's no Harry Potter land for Universal Hollywood,
Yeah.
but it's still accepted since it's something that they kind of rolled out for Diagon Alley.
Okay.
And then for after shopping, there's dining. So then you have Florian Fortescue's Ice Cream Parlor. Largest selection of ice cream flavors and other delicious frozen treats, including butterbeer ice cream, which everyone who's tried it so far, at least the ones who got it on the preview, they said it's so good. It's kind of like the tiki bar, or
The Dole Whip?
the Dole Whip bar.
Ah, got it.
So you can have your pineapple juice, or you can have the whip.
Oh.
It's like, oh, except it's butterbeer, so you can have maybe a butterbeer float. Sounds cool.
A butterbeer float sounds actually really good right now.
so did you like look up the recipe and learn how to make your own homebrew?
So then we
Okay.
can have it over here.
Is basically the long way of saying that. Yes.
I think I forgot who had it, or they were doing something else with that before, and they were saying it was almost kind of apple-ish in flavor, but they had that buttery taste to it because they use this foam topping to give it that, yeah, kind of more rich flavor, more characteristics to the drink. And then there's also Sugar Plum's Sweet Shop. So you get all your candy, sweets, and chocolate frogs, Birdie's Bots, all that stuff. And then a bunch of street vendors all over. And then their main restaurant, the Leaky Cauldron. And that's their signature shop. So pretty much the attention to detail, like the sign in front of the Leaky Cauldron actually leaks. So
What
there's
does it
a
leak?
there's a crack in the metal signage that's right in front of the shop, and from that crack it drips water. So there's a puddle underneath that sign consistently.
So if it's hot, just stand under the leaky cauldron.
Well, it's humid too, so it probably won't help you much.
Oh yeah, this is Florida we're talking about, huh?
Yeah.
That explained a lot. So they're just adding more water to that nasty air. Got it.
Yeah, so at the Leaky Cauldron, you can also get butterbeer there. And then they have new drinks like a fishy green ale with blueberry fish eggs and the tongue-tied lemon squash. So they kind of like created new menu items to tie into the land. And the food, it's more like English pub-style food.
So they have meat pies?
Yes. And you can get bangers and mash. Yeah. Oh, supposedly it's good. I've never had bangers and mash, but I'd be willing to try it over there.
Hey, you gotta be willing to try anything, man.
Although, I mean, it's probably at an inflated price too. Like you could probably get heck, you could probably make bangers and mash, or get it somewhere else. But I mean, it's probably gonna be expensive.
Okay, Ben, hop on that. I want you to make us some so we don't have to pay like an arm and a leg for it, okay?
Well, I can't make it if I don't know how it's supposed to taste.
He has a point.
I've got to have like
Touché.
something more authentic.
So we
first.
gotta spend like $5,000, go to Florida, experience it,
Florida.
then come back.
Wait, so we're gonna go
Orlando,
to
sorry.
I was gonna say we're gonna go to a theme park to get the authentic,
quote unquote.
I was gonna say the authentic version.
Well, actually, Epcot at Disney World, they don't do such a bad job. Like a lot of their food does taste pretty authentic.
That's Disney, though. They're on a different level.
Well, Epcot also has the World of Nations, or
Oh, so wait,
that you go around, so
They-
you can have like Chinese food, Japanese food, Mexican food.
And they have beers from all around the world.
Yeah, if you're drinking around the world.
A resident alcoholic.
yeah. See, we already you already tried to make the claim that you weren't an alcoholic.
I mean,
Yeah.
they have different beers, guys.
Don't make us turn this into an interventionist podcast.
Intervention. Yeah, so in addition to the main thoroughfare for Diagon Alley, you can turn onto the side street, which is the dark side. If you say diagonally wrong, Diagon Alley wrong, you say diagonally, you end up in Nocturne Alley. And that's where you can get your dark magic. And this area is perpetually dark. It's actually a covered alley, so they make it dark on purpose. Even though it's like richly themed and stuff with all the lights on, but they're saying like, yeah, I think this place is going to be really crowded just because it's dark and air conditioned.
It's air conditioned?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
going to
So
be
it's gonna have that, but yeah, it's gonna be funny because it's supposed to be like dark and foreboding with millions of people around. And just like I can't be scared. There's too many people around me.
Yeah, it's like, you're not supposed to go there, but there's AC, but you're not supposed to go there.
You're not supposed to go there, but literally everyone is there.
It's
So
like, come to the dark side. We have air conditioning.
It's not really air conditioning, it's just nighttime, so it's supposed to be cooler. It's
Except-
themed.
yeah, except it's gonna be hot as hell because you're just gonna be packed in there because everyone else is trying to get a sweet piece of that covered area.
Oh, and you know how it rains like crazy over there. It's like, it's raining. Nocturne Alley time. Let's go.
To the dark side. Yeah, so they have more shops here. They have Borgin and Burke's, where wizards can acquire items for dark magic. So it's basically a walkthrough area, more of an attraction, kind of like pointing out things rather than
Buying
Oh,
like
things.
physical, like actual ride-on attraction.
I was
Oh,
wondering if
okay.
they would sell like the necklace.
Which
Which
necklace?
one?
I remember, okay, like in which book was it? Oh, it was the 6th book, and there was this necklace that one of the girls was supposed to give to. I guess she was supposed to give it. I forget to. I think it was to give to Professor Dumbledore. But she accidentally touched it, and then that's when I remember when she goes and freezes up and shoots up, and she's screaming like in horrible, horrible pain because it's a cursed necklace.
Oh, that one in the movie.
Yes,
Okay, I know which part you're talking about.
in the book too.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
The movie, no, not the book, the movie.
The movie. The one that the books are based off of, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
that one
Okay.
there.
Okay, and then this is for you, Corey.
Okay.
This they have a place over there called the Hopping Pot. So for people who are wishing to try out any of the new custom beers and drinks, can head over there and grab any of their custom beers.
What are you insinuating here?
It's right up your alley.
Hey.
Yeah, you grab a drink, check out the magical offerings.
I
of
have
the
a
land.
feeling if we go to Florida, I'm going to come back fucking hammered.
Come back. You're not going to make it to the plane.
We're just gonna leave him in the alley.
Where is he? He's one of those bums in the alley over there.
That's not an actor? Nope, that's our friend.
He's doing really good.
Yeah, and then so you have the main ride, which is Escape from Gringotts, and then that lets out into another shop, of course. And that's Wiseacre's Wizarding Equipment. And then, yeah, pretty much everything is like super themed. There's a Fountain of Fair Fortune, which is another pub where you can get butterbeer or any one of the new signature Diagon Alley drinks.
So they're
Corey.
trying to get you drunk all the way around, no matter where you go. It's like, here, have a drink.
Well, the thing is, they have something for adults and for kids. So it's like, here, you can get your custom craft beer, Harry Potter beer, and kids can get their custom craft Harry Potter non-alcoholic drinks. It's like, look, it's blueberry fish eggs. Just blueberries. But they're fish eggs. Pretend. Tasty and healthy. Eat your fruit.
Tricks.
Yeah, but they actually have the barrels and everything, so it's almost like BJ's, I guess, when you see the beers on tap that are in the place over there. I don't know if they actually brew the stuff there. That's the only thing.
That would be cool. And ferment it.
Yeah. And then, for the ice cream shop, I forgot to mention the flavors other than the butterbeer. But they also have, of course, like your plain vanilla and everything, but they have other flavors like Earl Grey and lavender, strawberry and peanut butter, I think. Is that what it
These
is?
are
Raspberry
some
chocolate.
Interesting flavor combinations here.
Yeah. And then
Is it going to be like the jelly beans that actually taste like shit?
Brady's Bots?
Yeah.
They sell those too.
Those things, it's like, they're cool, but they taste really bad.
If you're unlucky enough.
I was very unlucky.
Well, they have the ones that are just the bad flavors. They have the ones that are mixed that look identical that you have to kind of figure out which one's which.
Oh yeah,
It's
I like
like
the
it
mixed
could-
one because it
It could be a booger or it could be popcorn.
Yeah, those were awesome. Because then you eat it, it's like, I don't know.
Or it could be toasted marshmallow. It could be dirt.
And it tastes like dirt.
Yeah.
I swear, I pick the wrong ones every time.
And then they have a place called Eternals, Elixir of Refreshment. So flavored potions you can add to water, kind of like Mio or any of those other syrups that you add to bottled water.
Do they come in a fancy glass jar?
Yes, they do. They come in like potion-looking jars.
Oh, sweet.
So once you use it, you can collect it. So
Guessing they're not
fire
glass,
protection
though.
potion. No, they're plastic. Can't have glass there.
No, not with the kids.
I know.
And then a lot of the area is actually covered, so that helps with kind of controlling the lighting, and then also because it rains all the time over there.
They want to protect the buildings and everything from the elements and stuff.
Yeah, so that's like one of the other little shops and stuff that they have, or carts. I guess like the ODV food cart things. Yeah, but for I guess you should talk about the main attraction, Gringotts. So once you step in, that's kind of like another reveal. Like when you walk in, it's like, oh, it's just a building, and all of a sudden you're in the bank. There's a huge foyer and just tall columns, and just feels fancy and everything. And you have all the animatronic goblins working, and they're doing their statements and accounting and all that stuff. And then there's some that are talking to you, and it's like, make sure you have your ID, or go get your ID, or we're going to take a journey into the vaults, and all that stuff.
You mean your key?
Yeah. You should correct me sooner. So once you pass the goblins, then you take your photo, and then that's when you get to the first pre-show that uses glassless 3D technology. So that might work for you, Keiko, since you have problems with the glasses.
Well,
Usually.
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's the technology, but maybe it is. It might be interesting because obviously the.
I'm assuming it's like a giant 3DS screen blown up or something.
I have trouble with the 3DS screen.
I can see the 3DS ones usually.
But the thing is, if you move your head around, does that
well,
mean it
that's
gets
another-
So on
distorted?
a ride, you're like, oh, I missed it.
Well, I guess if you make it big enough, the sweet spot is just supposed to be huge, assumably.
Yeah.
If you just blow it up really big and just make the technology that much bigger.
Yeah, so that's the part where you actually go into the elevator to go 9 miles below ground. And they have like the glass walls and roofs and everything, so you can see everything around you
So
passing by.
is this a fast ride? Because you know when it's going in between the vaults, it's pretty fast. Or is it like a dark ride?
It's not really fast. It's intense, but it's not. The reviews have been it's not as intense as Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, which they were saying that one was more intense than the Gringotts ride, which people are kind of disappointed because they're like, this ride screams to be built as a coaster, and it wasn't really built that way.
Was it built more for like kind of a dark ride type experience then?
I would kind of go more with like an Indiana Jones style type ride, except your car actually spins, dip, drops, shakes, all that stuff.
So it's like a Roger Rabbit, Indiana Jones mix.
Well, Roger Rabbit kind of continually spins. This one spins for effect, like when something happens.
Ah,
Well, because, like, for that ride, they had, like, a lot of the, like, after the movies were finished, like, 2 years later, they actually had people from the movies come back, and they green screened them just for the ride. So it is more like Indiana Jones because you're interacting, like, basically the actors are interacting with you.
Yeah, so they were saying it was kind of like Transformers, sort of, or like the Spider-Man ride that was over there. Where you're on that vehicle and you go through and you see these huge movie screens, except it doesn't look so much like a movie screen. It looks more like you're actually going from set piece to set piece, and the screens are there to kind of help sell the area. And yeah, don't want to spoil it too much, but
Well, yeah. This is basically a Transformers ride is just set piece to set piece with every time you move, you're moving basically to another screen, but there's pieces in between, which is pretty cool. So if it's something like that, I mean, it's a little bit can get you a bit dizzy, but I mean, it's pretty. If it's something like that, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so basically in the land there's the engineer's messing with the controls.
sorry.
Yeah, so there's like hyper themed land, everything's crammed into every nook and cranny, right? But the main point that's gonna really sell this land and make it cool though is they have interactive wands that they've confirmed. So you know how we have the remote control wand, the Chimera, that lets you control the TV, change the channel, turn the TV on, volume, all that stuff, anything infrared. They have a wand that's kind of like that.
Oh, nice.
I'm assuming it runs off the same kind of technology, but it lets you cast spells. They have these medallions that are on the ground, and they have the incantations on the medallion. So they tell you what to say, and you do your flourish of the wand, and stuff happens. You can cause the weather to change. You can make things happen, shoot off fireworks.
Can I make a beer magically appear in my hand?
Special effects that are already in the area, in the land. And they're not limiting it to just Diagon Alley. They're expanding it into Hogsmeade as well.
Oh, nice.
And I'm sure that's something I'm going to bring over here. So it's like everyone has a wand that they want to buy. It's like, oh, look, I got Harry Potter's wand. I got Hermione's wand. I got the Elder wand.
I got extra number 5's wand.
They don't have... But these don't work. It's like... You need to have the interactive wand. You need to have the wand choose you. So then it'll work for your powers and abilities. And you can go around the land and start casting wherever you see the medallions. So people line up and it's like, oh, look at this. Like, look, I made this do this thing or whatever. And then there's also hidden points too where it's not labeled, but you can like do a spell and have something happen. And I think Nocturne Alley is where there's a lot of those areas, those scenes where you can make all these hidden things happen that aren't even clearly marked. So it's almost like a hidden Mickey hunt, but with spells.
It's going to be funny because if a lot of people have these wands, it's just going to be people whacking each other with wands. Like, yeah, they're just going to be flipping those. They're going to be trying to like flourish with those things, but there's going to be like a ton of people. Like, there's a point, and you see like 50 people around this point, like waving their wands like
I did
mad
that.
men.
No, I did that.
Trying to get that thing to work. And I was like, and someone's like,
I'm kind of picturing it like how they had the keys to the kingdom or the cards, Mickey's Magical Quest or Sorcerer's Quest or something that they had at Walt Disney World, or like they had the Kim Possible thing or the Phineas and Ferb Agent P thing at Epcot. You had like RFID cards, and you would go on this hunt. And I can't remember. They keep changing it, and it was like the pirates. I think they themed one to pirates, and you could pick up a map, and they give you medallions. And when you got close to a spot, the RFID thing would pick up. So maybe it's an RFID.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Except they want you to flourish with it.
Yeah,
and the moment
I'm pretty sure it's battery operated, so it only activate and send the signal when you're doing the motion.
So I guess I'd have to see it and see how they have it set up. I mean, maybe they have it where, like I said, it's like a ton of people gather around a point trying to get to go.
The other thing too is like since there's so many windows and shops and stuff, you can kind of just be by yourself and like, oh look, everyone's over there, I'm over here. Let's try something. Like, oh, I did something, and then someone sees you like, look over there, and they all rush over, and stampede
wave people. Like, well, those ones, I guess those are you buy those, right? Is that how that works? You have to
so
buy
I think the price is like $45 or $50 for the wand. But for as many people who are going to buy it just to do this,
do you get to keep the wand?
Yeah, it's yours.
I guess
you just got to remember to bring it back with you next time.
Well, I mean, you guys bought two. You own two different wands, and they don't make things. Well, one makes actually cool things happen with the TV, and one lights up. But they don't.
I can turn on with my foot.
That was weird. But yeah, I guess it's $45. It's actually not too bad. I mean, people would pay just that much just to get a wand. Although I guess I'd have to see what they look like. If they just happen to have the added bonus of doing all this cool stuff and they look good, like they don't look kind of cheap. I guess that'd be the one thing.
Well, I think
it seems kind of inexpensive for what it does, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
I mean,
it
just adds to the value of just you being there, and it makes them a lot of money.
Yeah, but it seems cheap for what it is. Like, if it is, like...
Just to do things like you make it rain, make trolls dance, make the stars shine, make feathers float, unlocking doors. And then, those things are definitely going to be flying off the shelves.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying. At that price point,
and that's probably why they
really
have a second
cheap.
Ollivanders too.
Yeah, probably. Well, I mean, I guess the wand is kind of a big deal in the whole lore, and I mean, it's one of the main things. And to have it only currently now only in where it shouldn't be technically. Then you're just missing out on, people having the experience. Unless you were going to take it out of that one, just put it where it should be. which why would they? So,
But they need to make money.
exactly. So you might as well put it in both parks, and then sell them out as fast as possible. Because I mean, like I said, even if you're just buying a wand as a just I bought this on my vacation thing, then that would be cool on its own without all the cool stuff it does.
Yeah, we came back with a wand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got a wand, and it doesn't do that stuff. And
But it
how much
looks
did you pay?
cool. It looks like it came right out of the movie.
Right. That's also what I'm wondering, how they actually look, because it seems kind of cheap.
It's awesome, right? Feels good in the hand, and
But yours doesn't
Everything
make
is
things happen in
awesome.
the park. That's what I mean. And yours looks cool, but it doesn't do that stuff. So if they made one that also looked good,
Everything is awesome.
and then did all that stuff, $40 is pretty cheap for that kind of thing. Because how much did you pay for that one that just looks good but doesn't really?
I think that one was like probably 40. So $5 more to get an interactive.
So you have an interactive one
I
seems.
thought it was more like maybe 25,
Oh, was it?
27. But I don't think it was 40.
I don't
Well,
know.
I don't know, but
I
I
don't
mean,
think
I wonder
it's-
how it's gonna look. I mean,
I don't think it's really going to matter how it's going to look. People are going to buy it just because they're going to
Well,
see
no,
other
they're going
people.
to buy it, but I'm just saying that I'm wondering if it like looked or felt really cheap made, because like just to like all the money spent on the technology part to make it like to work and everything. I
Right.
wonder if
Well,
that.
the thing is, like, I don't think they're going to cheap out on anything because they already spent so much. And the big point is to actually sell the environment and sell the land and the idea that you're actually there and you're doing these things. So,
And the thing is, like, nowadays, technology, like, things are getting cheaper and cheaper to be able to make things that are cool anyways.
Well,
so,
well,
to
that's
make
true.
a wand with, like, the little RFD, I mean, they're going to be able to do that pretty easily because it's all it is just adding the chip, putting batteries, and there you go.
yeah, but I mean, nothing at a theme park is ever like the close to the value it should be.
Exactly. So they might maybe spend $5 to make it and get a profit of who knows how much.
A lot.
Exactly.
Just like everything.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's how it would work. I mean, I'm just saying, it just sounds really cool that $40 doesn't really seem like
But
that
it
much.
makes things happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm saying it's cool.
it
I'm not
seems like
saying it's not crappy. I'm
cheap
saying
for a
it's cheap
theme
for
park.
how awesome
it's
it
gonna
is.
be like,
Actually,
shut up, just take my money. Here's some more. You
That's
give me everything you have.
really cheap for that
then it's
awesome,
like-
that amount of
Especially at a
awesome.
park?
At a park,
Yeah, at
that's
a
why I'm
park.
like stunned about it. I'm like, wow, they're only charging $40. I wouldn't.
Well, the reason
Like-
being is because it's their parents are going to be there with more than one kid. If
every
it's
kid's going to want it.
exactly,
But that never stopped. That never stopped the theme park
So-
from gouging prices on.
Well,
on them.
they're making money already on the park hopper ticket, and then they're gonna. It's guaranteed,
Right.
and then the wands also guaranteed.
And
like,
the thing is, there's different drinks to try in all the different locations.
You make it.
So there you go, there too.
No. I'm saying that even though they're going to be spending lots of money, the theme parks always seem to want more of your money.
Yeah, I feel like most of the time it was like 40 would be like what you would expect to pay. But then you go to a theme park and it's like, well, we're at a theme park, so I would probably expect that to be around like $60.
It's like, hey, look at how awesome it is, and you need to buy it. You need to buy the tickets. You need to buy the butterbeer. You need to buy everything. And I'd want to buy everything and be like, damn. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did try to gouge me on the price.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
For $40, I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty easy choice.
well, and then not only that, because you can also get like the Gringotts banknotes, and you know how there's people collect Disney dollars, so they have to have every denomination of whatever dollars. They're gonna want to get every denomination, trade in their Muggle money for Gringotts banknotes, and have Harry Potter money. It's like,
my
oh, look at-
sickles.
yeah, that's definitely its own subset of people that must have.
well, you can at least get $1 or maybe $5, whatever they put the coolest design on.
No, I'm getting every single one.
Like those, like her.
You go all the way up to 100.
I was gonna say, like, we have
Like I
these
said,
$1,000 notes.
Shut up and take my money.
$1,000 might as well.
Might as well, because it's like
Oh.
you're at that point trading
No,
money.
because it's all coins.
Okay, then
Well,
the
it's-
1,000.
So then the 1,000 will be like a gold coin.
Yeah, I was gonna say, then-
like there's only, I think it was only 3 denominations.
For what?
For the money within like the book.
Oh, okay.
I guess.
Then I guess they're limited.
Okay.
But yeah, the interactive ones, they work everywhere, not just throughout the lands, but like in the stores too. So like when you're at Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, they trigger like jokes and everything. Your Nocturne Alley cause some a little chaos and all this stuff. So it kind of forces you to go into all these other little stores to use your wand and at the same time be exposed to the merchandise and see all the stuff. It's genius, really.
No, I think
It's like,
you already sold me on it, sir. I'm already on board for
Now
for
you're
it.
just overselling.
Yeah, you're just overselling at this
So
point
when are
because
we going?
all it sounds really cool, and I'd
You
totally
had me
be
at magic.
I'd totally be on board for that. I mean, I'd always probably want a wand anyway, so the fact that it does extra cool
I
stuff
saved the
is-
best for last, the wand.
Yes, you did.
It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
But it's like, and although, like I said, I wonder when you have 10 people swiping in the air at the same target. I mean, I guess you'd have to be there to see, because I guess it seems like it'd be pretty packed most of the time.
I just know it's going to be crazy this summer.
Yeah,
Well,
well, okay.
the rest of this year, it's-
Definitely this year.
yeah.
So, I mean, that image of just people swarming everything is going to cause like a certain level of misery to it, because everything sounds awesome when you're by yourself. Like when you're if you're looking at it through like you're just doing everything alone, and you have the world to yourself, then it's pretty cool. Then really what you got to imagine is a bunch of people standing around you or against you at this point, depending on what area you're in, all doing the same thing. Kind of, I guess, taking away from it a little bit, but I mean...
Well, I think even having a lot of people in the whole area is going to take away from the feeling of it in general. Like, I mean, because you're just going to have so many people there,
But then at least, I guess now in theory, they'll be spread out in 2 parks as opposed to... I can only imagine what that first one was like. I mean,
I'm sure.
when they just opened that one and then everyone was just crowding into one park. So at least, I guess in theory, now you have 2 parks that are themed, so you can just go from one to the other. Although, I'm guessing that even the line to use that train that goes between parks is probably going to be
Packed.
a line within itself. Just, I need to get in line to go to another park. Although, it's technically a ride on its own, so I guess you're waiting in line really for a ride that happens to go to another park.
Yes.
So, I guess you're still just like any other ride, you're just waiting in line for it.
So I'm wondering if they're going to keep the denominations the same, because there's 3 types of coins. They have the galleons, the sickles, and then the kNights. And so it's supposedly, according to the book, it's 17 silver sickles to a galleon and 29 kNights to a sickle.
I think they'd want to change that just to make it easier on the people.
But the thing is, they can't change it because it's part of the story, and the people, like, they're
Well,
probably
the
have to
hardcore would
explain
know,
it.
but
though.
then when
many
you're trying
people
to,
really
the
are gonna
parents
know
like
that?
go, I don't know how much this money actually buys.
So how many
Actual
people-
Harry Potter fans.
Oh yeah, they'll like it, but now we're talking like money and stuff, and the parents are trying
I'm
to
pretty
like, figure
sure
it
they're
out.
probably going to make it easy, like a
Just an easy
5, 10, 20 thing.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
probably
they
what
do
I
that
figure.
just to, because then you have people working there trying to explain to customers, no, I need 17 of those.
No,
or
but then
48
you have to
of
have
this one.
ones then.
Well, yeah, no, that's why I think
So.
that 1, 5, and 10, or
So you're
like,
using Muggle money plus.
oh god, such a nightmare. I'd feel terrible for anyone that was trying to ring up some kind of
I want
different.
$20 worth of money.
So do you want that in this currency or that?
Well, you can get like this and a half of that. Or-
This is only so you'll get 5 of these and 13 of those for your $5. Like, so I got 1 bill, now I got a weird set of coins.
What are these? And then you go to buy something, it's like, it's how much?
I need a conversion charge.
You go to pay for it, it's like, wait a second, if I would have just paid cash, I would have ended up paying less.
It's basically like when you go to another country and you're trying to figure out how their currency works, except now you haven't left the country and you still don't know how your currency works. It's like,
But then considering Orlando has like a lot of tourists, it's something that they would just kind of be used to having to do anyways.
Yeah, but I really feel like they're gonna make it easy.
Yeah, they will. But it would have been so much more fun trying to see people trying to figure it out.
Well, it would have been hilarious as long as
yeah.
you didn't have to deal with it. Like, from afar, it's funny, but
Yeah, I would have.
that guy that's probably, like I said, the guy working the register would probably have just nightmares just trying to explain to the guests, no, 13 of these, 1 of those, and 5 of these, or just pay me in cash. Actually, like you said,
It's
it'd
like,
be
no,
a
just give me your credit card.
Just give me your credit card. We take credit card here. For the love of God, just
We take anything.
we take anything. We take those, but just save those till you go home.
But,
We'll even
I
take your
bought these. I
firstborn.
can't use these anywhere else.
Use these anywhere else.
You're not
I've
allowed
got
to
to
use your
use
money with
these.
me.
I've got to use these before I leave.
No, you don't. You really don't.
You should take
Go back
them.
to the
They're-
bank and get your muggle money back.
I know. There's just another
They're souvenirs.
separate
you just paid
line.
a lot of money for souvenirs.
sorry,
Yeah.
Hand them out to
Returns or
your
exchanges.
friends. I'm gonna hand out a $20 souvenir to a friend. Yeah.
He's a really good friend.
Really good friend. It's
Or
but they'll be like,
You're
"What's
gonna go
this?"
back and then sell them to people. You want this galleon? You have to give me $40 for the galleon.
That's gonna with the world of eBay, because those don't come out till the park opens, right?
Yeah,
So that particular one, 'cause they
the
didn't have them
first,
before, right?
I would say the first 6 months at least, eBay is going to be flooded with all these new things that people are like, oh my god, I have to have this.
Yeah,
I can't afford to go out there, but I can afford this
that makes sense. I'd
for
see
like
that happening.
10 times face value.
I see that happening too, as well.
People are crazy.
Yeah. No, but there's so many other things besides just Diagon Alley and Nocturne Alley. They even went to J.K. Rowling and she helped name some of the new things, new areas in there, like an expanded universe. So there's also like Horizont Alley and then the Carket Market. So like more shops and more things to explore, and she kind of helped
More
craft
places
the
to
story.
spend your money.
Yeah, and that's a funny thing. There's like tons of shops in there, but they basically put out the movie, which is just an area with tons of shops. And then the only real ride there would be the Escape from Gringotts. And then they have a bunch of other like entertainment. So like the what was it? The Bard's Beetle. Did I say that right?
Beetle
Bard's Tale of the Sorcerer's Stone, the Elder Wand, and the Invisibility Cloak.
So the 3 brothers.
Yeah. And that one, they actually have the puppets that were... I think they based them on how they showed them in the movie, so they look just like the thing. And like Death, I think he's almost like full human-sized puppet. I saw some pictures online. It looks really cool. And there's Tales of Beetle the Bard. Then there's the Singing Sorceress Celestina Warbeck and the Banshees.
Ah, the band.
Yeah, that's Corey's thing right there. He's gonna knock back some beer and just watch the
Banshees sing a song.
Yeah.
Who are these banshees?
They're dressed up in the blue dresses. They're singing to you.
Okay, I got you.
I got it. And then, so the puppet ones are really detailed and everything too.
Sounds fun, guys. So I guess we gotta make a trip down there.
Yes, we do.
All right.
It's magical. You
Gotta go experience it ourselves.
You can almost feel the magic happening.
Right. Alrighty, well, I think that's about it for today, right? Kind of covered the basis of everything. For the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean,
Until we actually get to
Yeah, until
experience
we actually
it.
experience it, we can revisit this again.
except we're gonna have to have so much money just to go there. Looking at everything, because
Good
it's
thing
like
we all have great jobs.
we all have to eat a leaky cauldron, and then we all have to
Speak
get the ice
for
cream. We all have
yourself.
to get butterbeer. We all have
Oh,
to get a
I was being
wand.
sarcastic.
And then come back, like, I got my Quidditch supplies, I got all my stuff, I got my robe, my cauldron. You gotta bring, like, an empty suitcase with you when you go, just to bring back all the stuff.
I'm just gonna take my Harry Potter, the letter that he got at the beginning of the school year, and it's like, okay, this is how we're gonna go. I need to get this, and this. Just go down the line.
Alrighty. Well, I think that's about it for tonight.
I'm so excited!
Because everything is awesome.
Harry Potter's awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Okay, that too.
Yeah, see? Exactly. Alrighty. Well, thanks for listening. I was your host, Corey. We had with us today, Keikoa,
Yep, later.
Ben,
Right.
and our special guest, Claudia.
Das vidanya.
Alrighty,
not
thanks
British.
for... Cheerio.
Pip cheerio.
Alrighty, thanks for listening, guys. And until next time, this was your Taco Nights podcast.